So, for those of you not familiar with Albert Pike's letter about ushering in Satanism into the Middle Earth, basically he outlines the first three world wars: World War One, World War Two, and the war in the Middle East, way back in the 1800s, and says he's going to use this as a way to usher in Satanism, basically by pitting opposites against each other and causing so much war that eventually this just breaks out into society. So let's fast forward from that letter to the end of World War II. The U.S. became the currency that all the countries back their money off of with the banking system, the fiat banking system. And the U.S. at the time backed its money in gold. Of course, shortly thereafter, they stopped backing their money in gold and it had no intrinsic value. It's just a piece of paper. But we still use it, and for this reason and many other reasons, the fiat banking system is going to collapse. Now, when this collapses, you're going to see people putting their money into cryptocurrency. They're already started doing it. But people have a lot of misconceptions about cryptocurrency. They think it's not a centralized banking system. It's decentralized, they say. But it's not really decentralized. It's crowdfunded. It's a bunch of people who are using it, making it, but it's still centralized. You know, it's centralized on the internet, for one thing. And it relies on electricity and it relies on the internet. It has no physical form. So it doesn't even, not that it even has intrinsic value, it has no intrinsic value whatsoever, but it doesn't even have a physical form. So people think it's anonymous. It's not really anonymous. You have to put your ID and driver's license or passport or something to get a crypto wallet, and you got to put it in your bank account to use it. So it's not really anonymous, and everyone could see every transaction made on that blockchain. So it's really not anonymous. It's actually far from that. And it's far from being decentralized. It's centralized to the internet at the very least. So people are buying this lie about cryptocurrency when the fiat banking system falls, and it was designed to fall. It was designed, they planned this out 100 years in advance, at least. When that falls and you see people switch into cryptocurrency, the same people are doing it under the assumption that the internet will always be there, electricity will always remain constant, even though they don't generate their own electricity, and the internet could probably just be switched off at the hit of a button. So eventually, I'm guessing, I'm going on a wager here, they will just turn off the internet and turn off electricity. Now, what would happen then? You have this group of people. We're going to call them the hip-hop people. It's not about a race. It might have started that way, but it definitely isn't. It could be any type of people. You have them everywhere. We call them the hip-hop people. And they're forming armed militias. Now, they don't know that they're fighting for Satanism. They don't even know what they're fighting for. They just want to get what's theirs because they have this victim mentality that they're owed something, when really we all have it hard. And they're just brainwashed by this music that's been being pumped out since the 1980s, that's telling you to steal, to do bad things, to spend all your money on materialism. And these people go and kill each other for money, and they don't even spend it on anything useful. They're certainly not buying livestock and farmland with that money. So you have this group that they are armed, they do have weapons, they have gangs, which has a militaristic structure with leaders and followers. Then you have this other group of people, the non-hip-hop people, who really are, aside from a few exceptions, not really organized in any way. And some of them are armed, but not really armed and ready to use their weapons like the people in the hip-hop culture. So when society collapses because everyone's put their money in crypto, the fiat banking system falls apart, everyone switches to crypto, maybe it'll be all good for a time, maybe they'll let it go on for a couple of years where everyone has crypto, and they'll know what everyone spends, so they know who to lock up, who to promote. Why do you think they let people buy all these drugs online using cryptocurrency and they don't get in trouble. They want you to be on drugs. They want you to do that. And if they see when everything switched over to cryptocurrency, you're buying stuff to make Organite, they might just make that even more illegal and arrest you for that. Who knows? But they'll let it go on for a time, but then they're going to crash that too. Crypto's going to crash. There's no internet. Oh, it got hacked. There's no more electricity. Oh, electricity stopped working. What's going to happen? All these armed militias, mainly the hip hop culture, are going to take over because they weren't preparing. They weren't preparing for anything. They got 100 pairs of Jordans, but they don't even got one can of food. And so what's going to happen? They're used to that victim mentality that they got to take what's theirs. They got the guns. They got the organization. They're going to go in the cities and they're going to take what's theirs. And that can only last for so long. Then you're going to run out of stuff because none of these people make anything. They don't contribute anything. They just take. So then when you run out of stuff, what's going to happen? You're going to need food. And what is going to be the only food source? People. You know the elites like pizza. We all know the elites eat plenty of pizza. But what some people don't know is that the rumor has it beyond the Antarctic Ring are Gog and Magog, two ancient tribes that would, when they would fight you, they would use black magic and all the worst practices. They would barbecue a pregnant woman and eat its baby on the battlefield and send the demons after you. They would summon demons on you, which is actually a thing in hip hop. You see some rappers talking about other rappers, they're scared to battle them or whatever because they're summoning demons. XXXTentacion was one of them. Lil Peep sings about summoning demons. And look what happened to those two. They had their 15 minutes of fame, and now they're dead. And the demons won. The demons are mainly just interested in your soul. They'll do you a couple favors, and you'll think they're working for you, but you're working for them, and you're trading your soul, and your life in the hereafter is going to hell because you did these dark arts and worked with this black magic to do this sort of thing for just material goods. And you see it's a very common thing now in rap. The rappers are Satanists, they're whatever, material goods, whatever. But you have Gog and Magog on the other side of the Antarctic Ring. And this is a tribe that already resorted to cannibalism. They already put their money in crypto. Crypto already fell apart. Their internet already turned off. They ripped up all their trees. They ate all their animals. They just have sand and people. And they're little Asian pygmy motherfuckers that eat each other. Some of them are Turkish. It's nothing against the Asians. I love Asians. I'm an Asian myself. But this is what it's said to look like. You could read the Bible, the Torah, the Alexander romances, the Quran. You could read the Vishnu Puranas. Certain Buddhist scriptures, they all mention Gog and Magog. Some call them Yajuj and Majuj. Some call them Koki and Makoki or something like that. It's the same group of people. The same ones that the Queen of England dedicated London to. It has statues representing Gog and Magog in London. So, you have this fall of the fiat system. Everyone turns their money to crypto. The internet shuts off. It's inevitable. The crypto shuts off. It's inevitable. We're left with nothing. We have no goods to trade. We resort to stealing, robbing, looting. But that runs out too. We don't have any skills, so we start eating each other. At the same time, you got the society that's already doing that on the other side of the Antarctic Ring. Well, what's happening with the Antarctic is melting. So eventually they're going to be able to just come in here too and join in on the fun. And yeah, they're little pygmy motherfuckers, but they've been doing this for thousands of years. We don't know how fast they are. We don't know what ESP powers they might have. We don't know what sort of weapons they have. We really don't know. But, you know, if you read between the lines, it seems that the elite are already working with them. They're already well aware of that. And they're even partaking in the pizza with the Googs and the Magoogs. So, Albert Pike said he was going to usher in Satanism with these 3 wars. These 3 wars have already come and passed. The next step is the total collapse of society, and they're already gearing up these militias to be materialistic, to have nothing that they stand for other than clothing, shoes, and cars. And when that goes, they'll truly have nothing. And what'll they be left with? Only each other. So their only way to eat is going to be to eat each other. And that's when Gog and Magog come in, already eating each other. So Albert Pike would have succeeded in ushering in Satanism. What is Satanism? Is competing in bad deeds. It's summoning demons using rituals. It's all the worst things. The rapists, the sexists, the fundamentalists, the terrorists, is all the worst-ist. And is all mixed together in one thing. It's a Satanist. And they've done very good job at prepping people to become this way without any reason at all to be this way. And once you give people the slightest reason, oh, there's no more money to spend, oh, there's no more food, they're going to be the most cannibalistic out of anyone. It already happened in Liberia. So there you go. Albert Pike would have ushered in Satanism.